What's good, everybody, and welcome to Body Bag Podcast. I'm Chris Thomas, and with me, as always, Broke Writer Dave.
How we doing, everybody?
So, was it last year? Was it around Valentine's? I was making my Chris hates couples lists and stuff.
Yeah, Chris hates love, and then you did Chris loves love.
Chris loves. I'm all over the place with it.
Yeah.
So, Valentine's is obviously not my thing. I'm all over the place with it. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. It's date night on Body Bag Podcast. So put the kids to bed, get yourself spruced up. It's date night, or if you're single, time to cyberstalk your ex and binge watch The Punisher. But we've had him before on the show to talk about his book 396. I'm not going to say 396, 396. And his book is also going to be in the upcoming giveaway. I know the giveaway at this point would have been already passed. So congratulations to whoever won that. Hope you're enjoying the book. But he's back on, and he also helped us to find out what the definitive haunted house was.
Yes.
Thank you for coming back on the show, Christopher Frost.
Thank you for having me.
And you're not alone.
I am not. I have my wife.
You brought your better half in.
Yes.
I did.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Elissa Frost.
Nice to meet you too.
I was debating if I wanted to introduce Elissa Frost first and then go, oh, and who is it that you brought with you? Author? He's an author, is he?
We should have done that. Darn.
Well, all right. Well, Christopher said that we can re-edit this, so all right, we're going to start this from the top then. All right, everybody. What's good, everybody, and welcome to... No.
Yeah.
Oh, but yes, thanks for carving out some time to join us on this experimental couples night on Body Bag Podcast.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're excited.
So, Chris, we already know a little bit about you, so why don't we start with Elissa first? A couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Okay, so you mind just giving a little introduction? Tell us about yourself first off.
Sure. So my real gig in the real world is that I'm a teacher. Actually, the past 2 years I've been doing instructional coaching. I was a sixth grade teacher for 16 years, and now I'm doing instructional coaching, which is basically working with teachers and students to be better teachers. And I love it. It's the best. My other half job is being a mom. We have 3 daughters, and and supporting my husband in his writing adventures.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of, I had actually a couple of questions in regards to that. In his stories, have you ever said or done anything that made it into one of his stories that you know specifically, like, yep, that was me that he was writing about right there?
That's such a good question. I think he takes like pieces of things. I can't really think of one big event or anything that has happened that he's used, but definitely pieces of different characters. I'm like, wait a second, I said that, or something like that. So there's definitely pieces in there.
Little nods.
Exactly.
Is it safe to say that you're a fan of horror as well?
So it's funny you ask.
I hate it, actually.
I don't hate it, but it's funny because being with Christopher, I never would have watched horror, read horror, none of that. And then I started to get into it. At the beginning of our relationship, he was like, wait, you haven't seen this movie or this movie? So we'd watch something, but he has a knack for scaring me in the movie. So during the movie, he scares me and makes me cry.
I've only made her cry one time.
We need to get those numbers up.
So,
Yeah, I scared
what
her
was
so
the-
bad that she cried. I felt really bad.
What was the movie?
I
what
think
was
it
that?
was...
It was really scary.
I want to say, I think it was The First Ring.
No.
No?
Shoot. It'll come to me.
It might have been Jeepers Creepers.
No.
No? I'm going to throw things out.
He's just throwing out movies now. Like,
You'll call me hours after this is done to let me know what
Right.
it was.
we figured it out.
Yeah.
It's something. I'll have to think of it. It'll pop in. But it was really scary. He shut the lights off. It was really scary. And he scared me. And it scared me so bad that I burst into tears.
There's only ever been one movie that has ever... Well, that's a whole nother story. We won't get into that. I was going to say, if it was at least a legitimate movie to get scared at least the tears were worth it, because mine was The Langoliers, Stephen King.
Oh, yep. There you go.
So at least, I'm sure it was worth the tears, whatever it was.
It was a long time ago. But It'll come to me. I can't remember.
This is just I just thought about it like 10 seconds before like hopping on the computer here about Chris, him being an author.
Yes.
Does he ever just stop what he's doing or stop in the middle of a conversation and hurries up and writes it down?
100%. We could be doing something, I don't even know. He's like, oh, great. And then he'll like pull out a paper. We've been in like on vacation in a hotel room. And he's like, do they have paper in here to jot something down? Oh, yeah, it happens all.
Yeah, I wrote a whole story on hotel stationery one night.
There you go.
Just stop dead in the middle of a screaming match and go, wait a second.
Yeah.
This is great.
Keep that energy. Keep that energy. I need it.
Right. Keep yelling.
In a gold mine.
Yeah.
Dave, you have something over there?
Outside of your husband, who would be your favorite author?
Ooh, great question. That is a great question. So when I was younger, Jodi Picoult was like my go-to person. Loved all her books. And then as I've gotten older, I just read Riley Sager. And who else did I just read?
You read Riley Sager and you read, you were reading Karen Slaughter as well.
Yes. Those are also, I would say my top 3 were.
Okay, yeah. Like Riley Sager.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Outside of horror, what is your favorite genre of like movies?
Chick flicks. No.
Yeah, she's a stereotype.
Oh.
No, I also...
The Notebook.
Well, no, that's too long. I fall asleep. No, I'm like super eclectic when it comes to movies. Like I love everything. We just watched, what did we just watch? That was like action.
Did you have him liking anything that he previously did not like get into, much like with horror with you?
Yeah, absolutely. He totally loves chick flicks now.
Don't bat. I'd like my fair share of chick flicks. So.
I forced him into watching Love Actually every single Christmas Eve, and he loves it.
Yeah,
would you say he loves it? Are you talking about you Stockholmed him into it? Like is it a hostage?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Now it's our Christmas Eve tradition. Wrap presents and watch Love Actually.
Not bad.
And die inside a little.
Yeah.
Yep.
He loves it. Don't let him kid you.
Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This one's for Chris. I just finished 396.
Oh, great.
Finally, yeah. Great ending.
Thank you.
But I was wondering, I mean, I know the barn burnt down and everything, but would you ever go back? Spoilers, yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Would you ever, like, make another story that takes place in that house?
No.
Maybe before or after? No more going back there?
No. I think that story's closed.
All right.
Darn.
Sorry.
It's a good house, but yeah.
It's fiction. I'm sure down the line, if you so wish, you can write it back into existence.
Yeah.
It does make a cameo in another book that I'm currently getting edited.
I think it's the one that I was going to ask you about how it was coming along.
My editor still has it. I actually messaged her today to see when I'm getting it back. And radio silence.
It's the weekend, so I won't hear back until Monday.
Right. Let's hope so.
But it's in the editing phase right now.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Good.
It needs to be in our next giveaway, so we can talk about it.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll roll out pretty quick.
That's
I'd hope by April it'll be done. I don't think it needed a lot of edits at that point.
It's pretty exciting to have a new book come out.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess while I'm thinking about it, just about stories in general, the cover art for your books. When you are creating the illustration for the cover of your book, what goes into how do you? Is it all you or
no? So, my friend, if I can plug her, creativeparameter.com.
Okay.
She does all my work. I've used her for a long time. And I basically just tell her what I have in mind, a bit about the story, and she'll create 3, 4, 5 copies and present them to me, and I'll pick them or I'll modify them, and she does all the work and does the wraparounds, and she does an amazing job.
Do you just usually let her have free range of, all right, it's just the bare bones of this is what the story's about, or do you say I want you to have this specifically in the illustration?
It's a combination. I think I'm a little bit more specific when I'm telling her what I want, and then we'll tweak it, and she's pretty good at giving a lot of options in those different covers that they'll be similar in theme but completely different as far as, scenery and stuff. Like 396, there was 4 different covers and they had 4 different houses.
Yeah.
Do you have one in mind for this one?
I do. I think it's on my Instagram page.
Oh, okay.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, it's called The Missing Girls of Dunstable.
The Missing Girls of Dunstable.
And
All right.
Dunstable is the same town that 396 is in.
All right.
Oh, is that that little appearance that you said it makes it? Oh,
Well, there's a little bit more other than just the town.
Okay.
do you want to tell us at all? I know it's in the editing phase; it's not out yet. But do you want to give any kind of bare bones of what that story's about?
Sure. It's about a waitress, Lori, who kind of stumbles on this mystery of these missing girls. The whole town's putting up flyers and on telephone poles, and she kind of gets sick of it and tries to throw one away, and her roommate gets kind of pissed off about that, and then she kind of ends up getting a bit haunted by visions of these girls.
Huh, all right.
I can't give too much away.
It's a cool
Yeah.
story. It's a really
It sounds pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out the day it releases. So
cool. Mhm.
Yeah, and she gets to
Yeah.
drive an Indian motorcycle, which Alyssa will not let me have.
No, I will not.
So I had to put it in the story.
And,
sometimes you just gotta live through your stories, man.
And just
Yeah.
because we always take advantage of a time to poke fun of that whole thing. How much of this one is based off of your real life?
Are there missing girls in your town, Chris?
I hope not.
I always
No,
got to
yeah.
bring that up. I mean,
Yeah.
I always thought it was funny.
That whole thing was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, she knows what we're talking about, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, the whole rumor goes around that
was
you've been in a
so-
haunted house.
Well, when it first happened, like when it first kind of came out, we're like, what? And we couldn't figure out, who started it, where it came from, what was happening. We're like, wait a second.
That's just God giving you good marketing.
Yeah.
100% good karma.
Because it keeps coming up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You need to get your story straight for
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
either that, or I think I said last time, either that or have a different story each and every time, so you're like the Joker. No one knows.
Yeah.
No,
Right,
which
yeah.
No one knows the real story. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Or did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the other story I remember you had mentioned before was John Doe. Is this that same story that was John Doe, or is John Doe a different story?
So John Doe is the Missing Girls of Dunstable is a novella.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, I think it's almost 50,000 words, and John Doe, I think right now is at 150,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So John Doe is more the giant next novel.
All right.
I still can't get used to how nonchalantly our authors throw out like 100,000 words, 150,000 words.
Right? Like, oh, no big deal.
Yeah, I'm just transported back to my college years of things having to be at least 5 pages and having to no contractions, double space,
Yeah.
Stretch the margins. Oh,
stretch the margins, use the big font.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you could to just get it out.
But
Or when there's a word count at the end,
Yeah.
just write a bunch of different words and then put it
Highlight
make
it
them
white.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know about that until well after high school, unfortunately.
Darn.
The process with John Doe's going well.
Yeah, it's going well. It's just big. It's like a puzzle. It's the only book that I've ever skipped around and written different chapters and try to figure out where they fit and write up to those chapters.
Mm-hmm.
But that's never really happened, and it happens a lot with this book.
That was always the thing. When you said 150,000 words, I didn't know if I should congratulate you or say, "Oh, I'm sorry." I don't know.
I
if
think it's
that's
more of a I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's a good thing or if, like 150,000. Yay! 150.
Yeah.
That's what happens with Christopher. He starts something that he thinks is going to be a short story, and then 500,000 words, and you're like, "What's happening here?"
Anything from you there, Dave?
So I got one last question since it is the Valentine's Day episode. So this is a question for the group. What is your worst Valentine's Day experience?
Ooh.
You can go first.
Worst Valentine's Day experience? Probably when my mom had to be my Valentine because my boyfriend broke up with me, and she was like, "Don't worry, Elissa, I'll always be your Valentine." I was like, "Oh boy,
But it's so sweet.
this is my life."
Right.
Oh, is it my turn?
It is your
Yeah.
turn.
Valentine's Day dance, middle school, Megan Lilly dumping me.
Oh, right.
And then
He had that one
and then
locked and
starting
loaded.
with another guy.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
he had, yeah.
Yeah. and then start dating another guy. Like, you know how middle school is. You just go, hey, we're dating. Yep. She walked over and had another date by the end of the night.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have broke up with you, honey.
I know.
Dave?
This one probably happened in high school. We went to the movies, and right before we sat down, I accidentally spilled soda and popcorn all over my date.
Oh,
Yeah. Basically, no
That's way
coming
worse
back
than a
from. No coming back from that one right there.
no.
Oh, awful.
Now, question. Now the question is: you said no coming back. Did you stay and at least finish the movie?
I did. She didn't. She left.
And you're like, hey, you know what? I paid for that. You know, it's the rest of this night is a wash. So,
Yeah.
Movie tickets are expensive.
Yeah,
They were
especially
expensive back then.
for
Yeah.
a high schooler.
Yeah.
that's so sad.
Still don't remember what the movie was.
That could have been the mother of your child.
Right?
Yeah. Things happen.
All right, Chris, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Kindergarten, 6 years old. Everybody on Valentine's Day would like go and put something in everybody's little bag, and I never had any.
Oh.
No Valentine for little boy Chris. So,
You didn't have to give them to everybody? Oh, I think we were just talking about that.
no, you just like kind of like you have like a little satchel or a little bag or something like that, and people kind of like go in and like slip them into your like. At least that's how it was back when I was.
Yeah, that's how it was when I was too.
I feel like in high school we had to bring them for everybody.
Yeah.
So like everyone got a Valentine from everyone else.
No,
Yeah.
nah.
So sad.
Yeah.
I don't want your pity. I just tucked it deep down and let it grow into a tumor for later.
Yeah.
So that was your all right. So that was your cutesy Valentine's question. I actually had a cutesy Valentine question, real quick.
Aw.
So you guys are going to a Halloween party. What are y'all going as?
What are we? What am I
Well,
allowed to go
no.
as, or what she decides?
No,
I'm
well,
going as?
Now I'm gonna ask I'm gonna ask you to answer separate. Have your answer separately. I'm gonna say, all right, Chris, what are y'all going as? And then I'm gonna ask her, all right. So in your mind, what are y'all going as?
Oh, I go first.
So yeah, you first. So in your mind, what are y'all going as?
I would probably go as the corpse bride if we did a couple thing.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's like a nice one.
Yeah, that's not what you said last year.
This is just Chris planting seeds in the
For upcoming Halloween.
I wanted to go as, the costume that's the electrical outlet and the plug.
That never happened. That never happened.
I thought it was hilarious.
Wait, so one would be a plug and the other's the socket?
Right, I'm pretty sure like the girl, I don't
The
know.
girl's
Yes.
the socket.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that as an idea.
That'd be a pretty good costume.
If you can't tell, we are extremely different.
Corpse bride, light socket.
Yeah.
Just because it's funny.
That's all right. I dig it. Before we move on to the movie review, where can people? Well, your book right now is in the editing process, but the one that you said is on your Instagram right now, is that available?
No, but the cover's there. But 396 is available on there.
396 is available still, everybody, and that's always on Amazon.
Yeah.
And congratulations to the person who won it in the giveaway, and I'm sure it'll make a reappearance in the next upcoming one.
We can hope so.
Yeah.
And where can people find you?
On Instagram at Christopher Frost Fiction.
Awesome. All right, so My Bloody Valentine, I believe, is what we're reviewing today.
Yep.
3D.
3D.
All right, so
Yeah.
it's funny because you guys had a couple of ones that you threw out there, but unfortunately, Davide beat you guys to Halloween Ends.
Yeah, we suffered through that.
Well, when Christopher first asked me, that was my first thing. I'm like, Halloween Ends. It was the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Y'all should have been on that episode. Then it's Davide feels the same way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I think you had mentioned one other one. I said, yeah, sorry. Oh, was it Black Christmas? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that's
That's-
different. I love it. She hates it.
right. We wanted to do that one because we had two different opinions.
Are you
Wait,
talking
what's
about what's
Black
the-
Christmas?
Yeah, which
The,
one?
the original.
Oh, the original.
Original. Oh,
We just did the remake. Was
the one from 2019. That one's not good.
thought it was like a joke the whole time. I'm like, and I just kept thinking,
It felt like it could have been an SNL sketch if done right.
Exactly. I was like, this is the worst. And afterwards, I'm like, oh, Christopher. He's like, what? I loved it.
I do love it.
With the 2019 one?
No,
No,
the
the
original.
original.
I haven't seen that one. Probably, I have to go back and watch it, but yeah.
Honestly, it's not worth it.
We will be the judge of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good point. All right, report back.
Yeah.
It'll have to be at Christmas because we reviewed the other Black Christmases at Christmas time, so we have to do it this Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. We'll have to save it.
we'll
Yeah.
see.
All right, but My Bloody Valentine. We finally settled on My Bloody Valentine. Is it a mutual hatred, or does one of you hate it more than the other?
No, it was mutually. We almost walked out.
Oh, y'all saw this at the theater?
Yeah,
Oh,
in
we sure did.
2008.
Y'all had the glasses on and everything?
Oh, 100%.
Yep, glasses with. It's really weird because you're wearing the 3D glasses and there's no 3D.
Fun.
Barely.
Yeah.
Poked out, yeah.
So from now on, at the beginning of these reviews, I'm going to start it off with, if you don't want the entire thing spoiled, or if you want us to just get to the point or whatever, a one-sentence sum up is basically, a killer miner comes back 10 years after his first killing spree to do another killing spree, is basically the long and short of it. There's your one-sentence sum up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Since we're going to be throwing some names around, you only need to know 4 names. You got Tommy Hanniger, the son of the mine's owner, who was nearly killed by, was it Harry Warden?
Harry
Yeah.
Warden, yeah.
Nearly killed by Harry Warden. And he was also supposed to be responsible for the mine collapsing.
Yeah.
Right.
You have Harry Warden. This all takes place in a small mining town, by the way, and it's a big event happened where the mine collapsed.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
kicks everything off, yeah.
Harry Warden was one of the miners who killed his co-workers in order to steal their oxygen before they got rescued. You have Axel, the town sheriff and local douchebag. Sarah's husband, who doesn't like Tom and is having an affair with Sarah's co-worker.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you have Sarah, Tom's ex, who's now dating Axel, and she's married to Tom, and
Married to Axel, has a kid with him.
and you
Sells
have
a thing for Tom, yeah.
and you have Dr. Chalice himself from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I was very stoked to see him. I was like, Dr.
Yeah.
Chalice. All right, so you said so this came out, you said it was 2008? Y'all went to the theater?
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the first R-rated 3D movie.
Is that what it was the first? I do remember people making a big deal out of it when it came out.
Yeah.
I thought
First
that would be,
R-rated 3D.
So
what
I
was
would have
it?
been in high
Friday
school.
the 13th, part 3 was 3D.
What, you were in high school?
I'm old.
Oh, yeah.
I would have
was-
been 17.
2008, yeah. I was probably a sophomore.
Nice. Oh, man.
What, are we
Yeah,
like old?
I think you're right. I think
Oh.
I think Wikipedia may have lied because you're right. There was a Friday the 13th that was 3D,
Yeah, that came out in like the 80s.
and there was
I'm pretty sure that had been rated R, too.
yeah, and I think 13 Ghosts was 3D.
Was 13 Ghosts 3D?
Yeah, because when they put on the glasses at the end, you were supposed to put yours on.
I never.
Dave, do you not know this about your beloved
One of my favorite
show?
movies? Yeah. No, I didn't know it was supposed to be 3D.
He's been watching it wrong this entire time.
Yeah.
Well, I learned about it when I saw the DVD of it as a kid, so.
Yeah.
All right. Now, me and Dave were talking about this before you guys hopped on. We got a level with you. We don't know if it's because of the last couple movies that we've watched.
Our bar set's so low for movies.
Or the bar set so low, but we watched this. I was going in fully 100% expecting to hate it, and I gotta say, I was pretty entertained.
No.
We're not gonna say it's a good movie.
I
It's
got
just-
criticisms.
Yeah, it's okay. Not offended by it. Not
But-
angry watching it.
But I implore you to watch Hanukkah or Venom or Fear.com. So,
House of the Dead, and then watch this. You're like, oh, this is decent compared to those.
Well,
All I could think about when we're watching is like a CW Saturday night movie.
true. Well, and to be honest, we're the worst when it comes to 3D movies because when we go to the movies, pre-children, we went like
Twice a week.
Yeah.
But we always talk. We're the people that you hate. We talk to each other during the movie. So when you're wearing the 3D
I
glasses,
love that.
you always bonk heads. So it's that in and of itself. The 3D thing was like
Yeah.
Yeah.
bad.
all All right, so starting from the beginning, we'll just break it down little by little. You could tell us what you hated as the story unfolds. So, as we said at the beginning, this town has of Harmony, I believe, has it marred on the town. There was a mining accident that was caused unintentionally by Tommy Hanniger. Yeah, caused the collapse. One of the guys, Warden, murdered everybody for their oxygen.
Correct.
And then he was in a coma for a year.
Correct.
And then he wakes up with no muscle atrophy or anything and murders the entire hospital.
Correct.
I love that in other horror movies that people come back from coma stronger than
before. Yeah. Like, were you lifting in your coma? What happened here?
So he woke up from his coma to he killed 22 people.
Right.
So he goes to this rave, but a party at the outside of this old mine. That's one of the notes that I said. This is like the third movie that we've watched where a bunch of people are getting together for like a rave or a party or something. As you do in horror movies. But this one, actually, I ain't gonna lie, I would go to this mine party. I'd hang out at this mine party.
In my high school days, if I got invited to it, I'd probably go. Like,
I wouldn't go to the mansion party from Hanukkah.
No.
And the rave from House of the Dead looked very lame. For a place that you traveled on a boat to get to.
True.
But I liked this mine party, and Warden goes and starts mowing down people. Michael Myers has nothing on this guy. How quietly he kills people.
I know.
In a quiet mining tunnel, he met one of the people that Axel. At this point, Axel and Tommy and Sarah are at this point. It's a year after the mining accident.
Yeah.
Right.
And Tommy is dating Sarah, and Irene is another tag-along girl who's dating Axel at the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Irene, I believe, goes down, passes two people in the mining thing, and then at one point turns around. Warden sees her, and then she runs away past the people that she had passed coming in, and he apparently killed them, and then was able to dash down the hall in front of her in order to jump scare her.
Right. It makes no sense. Exactly.
And he did it all with no sound whatsoever and complete silence.
Right, because in a cavern that has great acoustics, you wouldn't hear anything.
Yeah, no echoes or anything. Okay.
Right, no.
A warden kills another person, and then Tommy is left behind. Axel, a douche nozzle, drives off with Sarah and Irene. They leave him for dead, and he.
I'm like, oh, thanks, yeah.
So automatically, we're kind of the seeds are planted to know. All right, Axel is not a good dude.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I think they tried too hard to make it look like him.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
And then the police shoot Warden right before he's about to kill Tom, and he hobbles off, leaving Tommy traumatized. And then it cuts, and we're 10 years later.
Yeah.
Right.
10 years later. You want to go ahead? My New Year's resolution is to talk a little bit less on this show. Dave, go ahead and pick it up from there.
10 years later, none of them have aged except for Axel, who has this penciled and goatee going now.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody has facial hair. That's how you know they're old. It's 10 years.
Tommy Hanniger returns to town to sell the mines. And as soon as he returns to town, so does Harry Warden starts killing people again.
Mm-hmm.
So you see...
Yeah. Can I say something real quick? So that's a bit of fiction that I don't buy. Is that if he's the son of the mine's owner, I don't think that his dad would be having his son working in the mines, working in the mines.
Yep.
I don't know. I've known some kids whose parents have owned businesses and such.
I don't know about mine, though.
They'll have them start working in there.
Right, but a deadly business.
Right, you make them go down the mine.
It's like an oil tycoon saying, "All right, son, get down in the oil rig."
Right. Bring a lighter.
Yeah, but you never know how people's parents are. Some people are just shitty parents.
True.
But that's the one thing I had to keep reminding myself. I was like, oh yeah, he should be loaded. He's the son of the miners' owner.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. That's all right. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead, Dave.
Now, you've seen how these people have grown. Sarah and Axel are now married. Axel became the sheriff.
Because that seemed the natural progression of that relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
And Sarah still works at the grocery store her parents own, I guess.
Uh-huh. And Tommy had
Irie-
been gone away for 10 years.
Yeah, he just left after the whole incident. Didn't
Which
talk
who
to
could blame
anybody.
him?
Yeah.
People already blamed him for the accident, and then he got traumatized. I'd be out of there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after his dad dies, he comes back to sell the mine. And the town still hates the guy.
Which is why I said, yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to sell the mine. You guys are assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll finally get the money that his dad never gave him.
Yeah. And now that people are dying again, they're also blaming it on him.
There's a rumor going around that Warden is back.
Warden's back. And he's back for Tommy. Cool, I guess.
So Tommy comes into town. He goes and says hello to his old fling Sarah at one point, and he's holed up at a hotel for the night.
Yeah.
It's just
The
this
typical
it's just
trashy hotel.
little
Yeah.
trashy motel. Which
What was it called? The Thunderbird Motel?
yeah, it was like the Thunderbird Motel where people just go to like draw the curtains and have anonymous sex, which is
Right.
what's going on right next door. This is what I had to say to Dave. It was not uncommon for the movies, especially in the gritty 2000 aughts, to just have like gratuitous nudity shots in them. Betsy Rue is the name of this actress, and I had to say kudos to her because she does the next 10 minutes completely naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how? I know.
And, I mean, at one point, the man is a truck. There's a trucker. He's having sex with this woman,
Yeah.
and he's naked too. But at least they let him put his pants back on.
Yeah. They let him get dressed.
They let him put his pants back on, and then he went out, and they didn't let her even put on a negligee to go run outside into the parking lot.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But
this
they're not the only one. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Her actually kind of pissed me off. She trapped herself behind a bed frame
Yeah.
with a bunch of openings in it. Like,
Because random truck stop hookups aren't the only people here, because so is Warden. Warden's back. He
kills a
acts,
random trucker guy.
pickaxe to the forehead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then chases her down into a different room. She hides under the bed. To be fair, never mind. To be fair, she shouldn't have. Well, I mean, she shouldn't have ran out naked. She didn't leave herself really any options to run anywhere. She basically gets killed and gets her signature heart ripped out, which was a calling card of Warden. The calling card, like I guess the thing he did the one day that he terrorized the town. I guess
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The one he did the one time. Yeah.
the calling card that he only did once.
Yeah.
So that happens. I'm trying to go through my notes. If you know where we are, Dave, pick it up.
Now, after the sheriff said it's not back, now it's kind of spreading like wildfire. Even the heart gets delivered to the sheriff.
Yep.
Oh, we
Who's
didn't
kind
mention
of
that the
just
sheriff is having an affair with Sarah's co-worker right now, and not trying to hide it at all.
No.
No.
Like, she shows up to the diner where he eats,
Yeah.
gives him come hither eyes, and then he immediately leaves right after her. Because then she said, next time let's use a motel, and he's like, I think people will notice the cop car showing up to a motel. I'm pretty sure people will notice a cop car just showing up to a random abandoned cabin out in the middle of the woods too.
Yeah.
All of that.
Well, it's in the woods, so no one's around.
True.
It's a Twin Peaks small town. There's always somebody peeking around the corner.
Yeah.
Right.
Just leave the police car and you can go where you want.
Yes,
Exactly.
Why not take her car?
Right.
Right.
Have her pick you up at the station.
Yeah.
We'll come to find out that all this
Whatever.
secrecy doesn't really mean anything anyway.
Well, it doesn't matter anyways, because she tells him that she's pregnant.
Yep.
Yes. Oh,
And look on his face.
between that and the truck stop thing, this whole movie has been scenes of people having sex and then getting bad news.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like the fact that happened consecutively.
Yeah.
Because
Just the whole yeah.
just sex, and then immediately there's a shot of the guy like having like a face.
Yeah.
All right, so
And then it goes to the scene that doesn't make much sense when Tom goes to the mine
Yes.
and he goes down and then he's attacked by Harry Warden,
Mhm.
locked in the cage.
Yep.
he's going to the mines to find the guy to talk about selling it, right?
Yeah. And then Harry Warden kills some other guy, Ben, I think his name was.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone comes down. Harry's gone. Tom's locked in a cage. Ben's dead.
And more questions are asked. So
Yeah.
these mines either have everybody in them or nobody in them at any given period.
Yeah.
Apparently, like
Right.
be barren or it would be crowded at one point, but also barren enough for high schoolers to come and have parties out in front of.
Yeah.
Right. No fence to keep people out.
No fence, no kind of security measures.
I feel like that'd be an OSHA violation, not having a fence around your mine.
Oh, 100%.
All right, continue.
That's what this whole scene takes like 5 minutes long. So they're just alone for 5 minutes. So everyone gets down there, and Ben's dead. So obviously now Tom gets brought down to the police station to get questioned by Axel,
who already doesn't like the fact that he's around because he knew that him and Sarah used to be an item.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can tell they don't like each other. Yeah,
I mean, all right. One of my criticisms here, I would have liked this movie 10 times better if we didn't have asshole Axel.
Yes.
Like he was probably the biggest reasons why I don't love it. This movie.
I think he played his part well. He's supposed to be an asshole.
I understand. Yeah, but you shouldn't have a slasher in which you hate this person more than the person going around killing people.
Right.
Sorry, yes, I totally.
Well, he's the person you root to see die, and you don't get that. But
yeah, I mean, I like characters who are assholes, but if they're like cartoonishly so. I mean, I'm not saying he's not doing it well because he plays it very well, but
he's just a straight prick. Yeah,
exactly.
He's just insinuating that his wife is up to no good just because he's in town, while also getting like random side pieces pregnant. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she works at the town store. You'd think she'd be able to grab some condoms on her way out.
But right. I mean, like, it's kind of like I'm trying to think of the another movie we talked about where it was like I can understand this, but this is like she works with the person that it makes it worse.
Yeah, that's so much worse because
it makes it worse than if it was just a random stranger.
Yes.
Someone your wife has to see every day at work. That's who you picked out of the favorites.
It's like that was an intentional choice on your part. It didn't just happen. But anyway, I just had to interject with that. Like Axel was the biggest reason why my biggest gripe with the movie rather.
And then after this, the old sheriff and the old guy for the mine go and take him to a warden's grave to prove that warden's dead, and he's not there.
Supposedly the story was that, and it was well known that the officer and the other guy like killed Warden and buried him alive, but it was like without due process or something like that.
Yeah,
and that they like covered it up, which
whatever.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't think the town would really care about due process. Like,
yeah.
If you were chasing down a guy who just killed 22 people,
right? I think you're good.
Saving taxpayers some money.
In fact, why'd you go and you would have been heralded as heroes if you we got the guy.
Right.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So his body's not there, and they're like, "Are you sure he's dead?" Yeah, pretty sure he was dead.
And all right, so where's Tommy and all this at this point?
Tommy was with him at the grave, and it was like Tommy, Axel, the old sheriff, and the guy who runs the mine. Yeah,
but they don't have anything. They don't have anything on Tommy to really keep him.
No, Axel's just suspicious because
he happened to be at the same motel where those people had died, and the woman got her heart ripped out.
Yeah,
you can see him through the reflection on some of the video footage that was available that he was there. So he was questioned. They released him, and then more murders occurred. This time, Sarah and her coworker get attacked at the grocery store. And what's her name? Is it Megan?
Megan,
Megan. She gets got.
Yeah.
She gets ripped out the window.
Scene that kind of pissed me off because he's plowing at the door with a pickaxe. He stops for 5 seconds, and next thing you know, he's outside pulling Megan out.
Right.
Yeah.
He does the Leslie Vernon PT training system. He does his cardio. He gets in his leg days.
Yeah, but how does he get out of the store and around it in 5 seconds? I'm like, was there an exit door right by the office that they could have ran out of instead of running into the office?
Right.
Or
go out the back door.
Yeah.
It was a side exit right there.
Why the hell did they go out to the office? Hit that side exit.
It was a frenzy. It was a frenzy. You don't think straight. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Megan gets her heart ripped out, and she gets got basically. Axel comes by, and he's talking to his wife. He says, "Oh, you okay?" Everything like that. And she says, "I think that he was just trying to get to you." Basically saying that she knew that Axel was screwing around behind her back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And still continued to work with the woman.
Right.
No,
Like, I'm out of here.
She has her suspicions, but she hangs out.
every single time you say something, you immediately bring up her husband.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
What did Axel think about it? Oh, did Axel say? Was Axel there? And like again, I think these people wanted to get caught secretly. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because they do nothing to hide it.
Right.
No.
Yeah. She definitely wanted her to know,
Yeah.
so that she could get Axel to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they separate, or she goes in an ambulance. Axel goes off his way, and Tommy meets up with Sarah
At the hospital. Yeah.
At the hospital. Now, what did he say to get her to go with him?
Well, he said he's gonna take her home, but he needs to show her something first.
Because at this point, everybody knows that this warden guy is running around. Axel thinks that it's Tommy.
Right.
Tommy thinks he's being set up.
Yeah, but he thinks Axel's the one kill. I don't know.
So Axel gets a call from one of his deputies because they looked into Tommy. Turns out that he spent the last 7 years in an insane asylum.
Yep.
Just got out, I guess, and wanted to go home.
With a pickaxe.
Come home with a pickaxe. So yeah, he gets back home, and so he gets the phone call. Yeah, he's a crazy person, and then he calls Sarah. Sarah answers. Yeah, I'm in the car with Tommy. He's crazy. She grabs the steering wheel, tries to crash the car, crashes the car, basically.
Yeah.
Hope you could make sense of that jumbled nonsense that I was spitting at.
No,
And
it was
then
accurate though.
this goes into like the ending scenes where she stumbles upon the house that Axel uses for his affair. Yeah.
Like, well, how did that happen?
Apparently, so that means that there's at least 1 or 2 nights where, because we don't know how long Tommy's been in town for, where Tommy was stalking outside, like watching Axel
Right.
during one of his affair sessions.
And it also means, I guess, the house is right by the mine.
Yeah, not very
So after-
abandoned. Yeah, not very secret. I'm sure they probably use that as for like the miners or something at one point. Like,
Right.
Yeah, because she gets attacked by Harry in there, runs out. She has a gun, and they end up in the mine with it's her, Tom, and Axel.
mhm.
And they're basically, Tom's like, hey, it's Axel, shoot him. Axel's like, no, it's Tom, shoot him.
At this point, Tommy's story is that he's being set up by somebody to make it look like he's the killer, and Axel's story is Tommy's insane. He's crazy. He's been in an insane asylum for 7 years, and he just came into town, and all this stuff started happening.
Yeah.
Tommy starts freaking out. He starts pointing and saying that Warden is here. Warden's here. They're looking around. They can't see him, and Harry's coming closer. He's like, he's right there. Turns out Harry Warden was a hallucination.
Yeah.
That
All
Tom
right.
has like a split personality disorder.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, now I'll admit that I liked the concept, but I hated the reveal.
It
Yeah.
was terrible. Terrible.
I liked the idea that could have been him. You know what it kind of felt like? It kind of also felt like, if you didn't like, I can understand if you didn't like this, that's why you probably also didn't like Halloween Ends, because it felt like he's not the real killer, this person is,
Right.
Right.
kind of deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he took on the mantle, passed the torch from Harry to this dude, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what a lot of people didn't like about Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But I
hated
felt like
that.
this was so obvious.
It was so
Yeah.
I can't really trash talk the split personality thing, because I've seen it in other movies that I actually like it. So it's not the trope that I dislike. I didn't like how it was done, though.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't executed well.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Like the premise is good. The execution of the movie is poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because when I do remember when that was shown, and it's like, oh, it's a hallucination. I remember going, oh, boo,
Right.
boo.
Yeah.
It's like when I hear or when I see the evil twin trope in movies, or
Yep.
boo. So
But
it
yeah,
turned,
this leads to the final showdown between Axel and Tom.
which
Tom,
I shouldn't be rooting for either.
Yeah.
No, equally they're both douches. So.
They're
Yeah.
terrible people.
The only
they're
person to kind of root for is Sarah.
Yeah.
Right.
She's not. I mean,
So she basically waits until her husband gets stabbed to start shooting at Tom.
yeah.
Right.
Right. Like,
Well, I'm sure he was still feeling kind of salty about the affair.
Yeah, true. So
I mean,
she
she missed her moment to take him out too and be like, "Oops, sorry."
Right.
To just be like, I'm not going to, but I just wanted to let you know I could have if I wanted to.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Tom kind of runs back into the mine and then starts running. walking back towards her and knocking out all the lights as he comes closer.
You know, they need to
For
get
that
that for
cool
the trailer.
visual. Yeah.
For the trailer.
And then she shoots,
The gas tank.
a gas tank. It explodes.
This Mai goes through some shit. I mean,
Yeah.
It sure does.
Like, what are the chances?
But it
Yeah.
only collapsed once.
Yeah.
it collapsed once. This one doesn't. Well, semi-collapses the entrance.
Right.
Yeah. Then, you get the end scene where they're in the ambulance. Happy ending, whatnot.
But
And one of the
But there he
guys in the mine. Oh.
Yep.
Tom's still alive because you can't kill Dean Winchester, okay?
You killed-
Exactly.
he killed one of the paramedics and took his gear and walked
Yeah.
out.
Right. You need Jensen Ackles for the sequel.
Yes, for the
Yeah.
sequel.
What-
Which
Yeah, there was no
apparently,
sequel.
apparently there was a supernatural episode called My Bloody Valentine.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why we saw the movies, because we loved Jensen Ackles.
Y'all are big supernatural fans.
Oh yes,
No.
yes you are.
We liked it for like 3 seasons.
Wow.
And then it was just out of control.
Maybe Chris is in the same boat that I am. I tried watching the first season and I want to like it so badly.
Yes.
I've seen every episode.
I want to like it so badly, but as of right now, the first half of the first season, it just feels like it's the same thing every episode.
I know, but I just love like the humor that's in
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
It's like they're gonna bicker at one point. They're going to split up at 3/4 into it.
Yep.
But one of them is gonna come back at the very end to be like, "Yo, I'm sorry, bro," and then shoot a demon in the face.
Yeah.
I just love it. Yeah.
I'm not saying
it's
it's
one
a
of my
bad
all-time
show.
favorite shows.
It's
Yeah.
not a bad show. I just wish I liked it more than I, do. As well.
Yeah, like your expectations were higher than it
Yeah.
should. Yeah.
Which is why I decided I have no expectations for anything anymore.
Yeah.
I hear you.
That's why I'm glad I came into this movie with very, very low expectations for it.
I was actually ready to hate on it,
Yeah.
but
Wasn't as bad as I expected it to be.
because it had of the last couple at least, it had the actual kills were pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I like the pickaxe.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Great
I will,
murder weapon.
and I will say that like classic horror villain like looks, I think I love the Harry Warden look. I love a creepy miner look
Yeah.
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 with a
It was just
pickaxe and the gas mask and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was just the storyline was so, I don't know.
Bad story. Yeah.
Yeah, like unbelievable. Like the whole, like you were saying, like in the grocery store, like how is that?
I feel like they really wanted to create like an 80s-esque villain that would keep living on, but the story was so bad they just couldn't do it.
If
Yeah.
you actually made Axel likable, I would have really liked
Like if you would have gave Axel more of a redemption arc in this
I'm not.
movie.
I'm not saying you can't be an asshole like in a movie, and I get that. But it's like a horror movie checklist of this kind of movie where it's like you have to have one person has to just be an asshole,
Right.
Plus, if you get that person, they have to die. Like,
Right.
why did Axel survive?
I would have liked it if Axel was actually actually good, upstanding thing. Then I would have some like horse to root for.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at the end, it's like, all right, do I want the killer to win or this adultered asshole? Like, all right, I
Or
guess
just
the
both
lesser
of
of two
them.
evils.
Yeah.
But this guy also ain't Jensen Ackles either, so.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be one thing, and the other thing would, if they didn't focus this movie to be shot specifically for 3D,
Yes.
because they will linger on a bunch of shots that it was made for 3D.
Oh yeah.
And watching it on regular TV, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, when you watch it on regular TV and you don't know that it was made to be 3D, you're just sitting there like, all right, why are they lingering on this shot for?
Right. And it wasn't a well done 3D either.
No.
I didn't really watch a lot of 3D horror movies or movies in general back in the day. It's because I wear glasses and and I can never find a pair that fit well over the
That
glasses.
fits over them.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
But at least it's still a lot better than back when they did, the red and blue filter.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember those.
It's like
But-
pop them out of cereal box or something.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for those two things, I would have liked it a little bit more. Dave, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's your run-of-the-mill slasher movie.
But you know what?
Yeah.
You guys picked it. So what turns you off about this?
I thought the story was just, I don't know, like you just kind of hate everybody, and they're just, you know, that she knows that her husband's having an affair but doesn't want to call him out on it. I don't know. I didn't like the characters. I think the premise is cool. I think, you know, it would have been a really good villain to keep going on a new franchise, but
the slasher bit does kind of get bogged down with the with the soap opera shenanigans going on in the background.
right.
Yeah.
I think it tried to do too much.
And I wanted to love Jensen Ackles, and I just, you know, it was so obvious. Like, really? I don't know. That was
Come
hard.
back to town, and now people start dying. Okay.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is interesting that the Winchester brothers are good sports about the horror movies that they were in, because they also did didn't they have one with Paris Hilton because of
Yeah.
Yes.
House
Friday
of
the
Wax.
Yep.
for
Well,
House
they
of
had
Wax?
Yeah, House of Wax episode with Paris Hilton because of the House of Wax movie that Jared was in.
He
So I
was in
think
that Friday the 13th reboot too.
He was, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty
That
cool that
one
they're
was
good
actually
sports
pretty
about
good,
it.
yeah.
They're like, yeah, we can poke fun at some of the older stuff I was in.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
But why don't we go around to? It might have been a bad movie, but for me at least, I think the kill stood out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go around and we say what our favorite kills of the movie were.
I think pickaxe to the head's always a good one.
Was that Frank the truck driver?
Was that him?
I
Yeah.
think it was.
As
Yeah.
soon as he opened the door to his truck, bam, to the head.
Ooh.
Just quick, sweet to the point. Just
Yeah.
he no time to have fun like Terrifier or anything like that. He has to
Yeah.
build that body count.
Yeah.
Right. It's just boom.
What about you, Alyssa?
Mm.
It's a very, very good question. I kind of like the pickaxe too, but I don't know.
Grocery store.
The grocery store is probably yeah, you're right. That was definitely the best one, I think.
What, is that Megan's
store.
death?
Yep.
We didn't need this love triangle anyway.
Yeah.
Right. You're dead.
We don't like him here, and apparently neither does Tommy.
Yeah.
Dave?
Mine's from the beginning of the movie where he cuts off the girl's head with a shovel,
That was mine too, actually.
and the head just kind of rolls into the shovel.
I like a nice decapitation. A good old
Yeah.
fashioned decapitation.
That or when the old man gets his head stomped into the pickaxe.
Oh, my boy. Oh wait, no, was that that wasn't. Oh no, I want to change my answer actually.
Yeah.
Dr. Chalice getting his jaw ripped off.
Oh.
That one's my. I take it, but that one was.
Yeah, the kills were good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
That's the thing with reviewing horror movies is that even with bad movies, it's kind of like with Black Christmas. Black Christmas is a bad movie, the one from the 2000s, but
Yeah.
we still had fun because the kills were like goofy and over the top.
Exactly.
Which I can handle a bad movie, but it'd give me something that I paid money for.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
There was something in it. Yeah.
So, and knowing that this is a bad movie, this is exactly why my 30-point scale is perfect, Dave.
My 30 points.
I have a 30-point scale to review movies.
That's awesome.
Basically, 0 to 10 is bad movies, 11 to 20 is okay movies, 21 to 30 is great movies. And then, so you guys don't like this movie. It's, I imagine, within the 0 to 10 range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 just because of the kills.
Yeah.
Now, this is why the scale is good. So the second part of this, it's all subjective.
Yeah.
So your personal experience with it, on a scale of 1 to 10, like how it makes you feel personally, your enjoyment of it. What would that level be on a scale of 1 to 10?
I don't know, 5.
5.
Yeah.
So your overall score with this one is a 5 out of 30.
I'm gonna give it a 7 just because I think the kills are entertaining.
The kill, because you'll give some points for the kills.
Yes.
Puts it a little bit above average in terms of the kills thing. So 7.
Yeah.
What about you, Alyssa? Same 7?
I would say same. Mine's maybe even a little lower, like 6, because
6-ish.
yeah, just the things were just so hard to believe some of them. You
Yeah.
know, like really.
All right. At this point, I think is probably what's going to skip the or tip the scales. Dave, what do you rate it?
Probably a 7 too.
You would rate it a 7?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm going to be the one that tipped the scales because I didn't
Yeah.
hate it nearly as
Yeah.
because to me it was okay. I wouldn't necessarily say it was bad. I would say it was okay. It wasn't a pain to get through. We watch pain to get through movies.
Yeah.
But would you watch it again?
Right.
If it's on. If it was on, I wouldn't, and there was nothing else on, I wouldn't like immediately I wouldn't go looking for it, is what I'd
Yeah,
say.
I would,
Right.
Yeah.
Movies in the okay category, I don't, unless it's now there's some like okay movies that I would put like at a 19 that is like it's an okay premise for a movie, but I thought it was done well. This one I thought was done average. The kills were good, but not the best I've seen, but certainly decent enough. So for me, in terms of what I'm looking for in a hack and slash kind of thing, this is kind of just like my basic run of the mill slasher. 15 out of 30 to me, it is basically a basic. The
Average.
the characters are stereotypes. The characters are fit their roles exactly how slashers do in these movies.
Yeah.
You get your kills, but you're supposed to. So I'm not going to give extra points because you're supposed to in a slasher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So 15, just completely average for me.
Yeah.
All right.
So hate.
Eh.
It's about where we're at here. It's hate to eh.
It's not terrible.
Yeah. Again, not the worst. Absolutely not the
worse,
worst.
True.
But yes, this was fun. I like having more than one guest on sometimes.
Yeah.
Makes it.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
fun.
so fun. Also, I remember the movie that he made me cry in.
Oh, excellent! That's a great way to kind of like cap this off. What was it?
It was Insidious.
Insidious. It was one of
Yeah.
those paranormal type movies.
Yes, terrifying.
Oh, Insidious is the because I'm not as familiar with the Insidious franchise. Is that the one with the red-faced demon?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the part that he got you at?
Oh,
No, it was the noises that freaked her
Oh,
out.
bleh.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The like screeching noise.
Oh, bleh. Yeah.
That's like one kind of series of movies that I'm not as familiar with is those paranormal, Insidious, nun, type
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
I actually just finished doing a Conjuring marathon to rewatch all those.
Yeah.
I'm about to start on the Insidious one soon.
I'm just binging through Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Oh, yeah.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah, I just watched the new Scream and I like that.
I still haven't.
Can't be slasher film that does it a lot better than Bloody Valentine.
Yeah. I can't wait
needed
for
a-
Scream to come out in 2 months.
Yeah,
You needed a palate
Yeah.
cleanser, did you?
I did.
But anyway, thanks again for you guys for coming on the show, for taking some time out for this Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah,
Of
it's
course,
fun
it
as
was
always.
So fun, yeah.
Again, Chris, well, I'm sure we'll be coming up to you soon to reach out to you for another episode. You're
Yeah.
Sounds
starting to
great.
become a regular over here.
Yeah.
And
I enjoy it.
And Elissa, come along too. It was a joy having you on as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. I
it's
would
a lot
love
of fun.
to. Thank you.
All right, and again, everybody, remember $396 on Amazon, and some upcoming more giveaways. And this has been Body Bag Podcast. I've been Chris Thomas, and with me, Broke Rider Dave.
Have a good week, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Take care.
Hey, everybody! Thanks for listening to Body Bag Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and leave us a comment as to what you'd like to hear us review, or any horror movie topics you'd like to hear us rant and rave about.
And while you're at it, you can find us on Twitter at BodyBagPod and on Instagram at BodyBagPodcast.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time.